As a homeschooling mama, a business owner, mom of four, I'm gonna share with you my exact routine and 5 tips to stay fit in the busy season of motherhood. My very first tip for you is prioritizing a sleep routine. Have routines for our kids, we have schedules for our kids, but do you have a schedule for yourself? Do you go to bed at the same time every single night? Do you have a routine right before bed? What are you doing before bedtime? The very first thing I want you to do is to create yourself a sleep schedule. So just like we have a sleep schedule for our kids, we wanna have a sleep schedule for ourselves. I love following the 3-2-1 method by Brendon Burchard. 3 hours before bed, no eating. 2 hours before bed, no working, and 1 hour before bed, no blue light. Now, I know that this can seem really challenging, especially if you are someone like me who maybe was just starting out in your business and the only time that you had was at nighttime. I had the biggest aha moment this past year that the lack of good quality sleep was impacting my business and impacting my family life, especially homeschooling. And so I really made my sleep a priority over my business, and then everything else trickled. Because when you have good quality sleep, women alone should have at least 7 hours, ideally 8 hours of sleep to have a better, more successful day, better functioning brain, more fat burning body. So our sleep is vital when it comes to our brain function. It's vital when it comes to fat loss. It's vital when it comes to managing stress and cortisol levels. We have to prioritize our sleep first, and then everything else will come into play. You need to create a bedtime routine for yourself. That might look different for everyone, but what you want to do is you want to backtrack a little bit. So what is the latest that you have to wake up by? And or maybe you figure out an ideal time you wake up. I wake up at 4:30 and I go to bed by 9:30 at the latest. And so that gives me roughly about 7 hours of sleep. And so I know those two numbers. I know if I want to get up at 4:30, I have to be in bed by 9:30. So that's the very first step, is that you're going to calculate what time you have to be in bed to get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. Once you've figured that out, then we can start creating a bedtime routine. What time do the kids go to bed? For us, our youngest two go to bed at 8 and our older two go to bed at 9. So that doesn't give my husband and I a whole lot of time to sit and chat, but we do prioritize that on other days and on the weekends when my girls are at their father's house. Everyone is in bed by 9 and my husband and I are in bed by 9:30. It helps us to know, okay, we got to get the kids by 9, get to bed by 9 so that we can get to bed by 9:30. Then creating a bedtime routine. Make sure that I have a bedtime and my cell phone has a bedtime. Ideally for me, that's 7 p.m. at night, because then that allows me an hour and a half to focus on my kids or focus on anything else that I might need to do throughout the day. We all know that these cell phones are very distracting. And so by having a bedtime for your cell phone is not only ideal for your sleep, but it's also great so you can get stuff done and prepare for the night before for the day to come. Putting that phone aside, eliminating those distractions, as long as everybody is in your home and there's not a chance for an emergency where somebody needs to get a hold of you, put that phone away. It's going to save you so much time and it's going to increase your sleep quality. After that, what do you do at night to prepare yourself for bed? I always wash my face. So I have a FaceTime routine. I do the LED mask, and that's a part of my bedtime routine. This is something that I do every single night, just like brushing your teeth. If you don't have a bedtime routine, what can you add on to something that you already do? So it's called habit stacking. You want to stack another habit with a habit that you've already established. So if you know every single night that you brush your teeth, then tackle something on with that. Some ideas or things that will produce and increase your sleep quality. Taking a shower an hour before bed increases your temperature, and then as soon as you get out of the shower, it drops your temperature, and that helps your body to produce more melatonin. Like I said, getting rid of the cell phone, having the cell phone have a bedtime routine, because once we get rid of that blue light, then our body can start producing the melatonin. Having a scent that you put on every single night before bed, whether that's lotion or you're into essential oils, having that scent tells your brain, hey, it's time for bed and I'm ready for bed. I smell this scent and now I'm getting ready for bed. So adding in little things like that that make you feel good. Maybe it's reading a book before bed to help calm the mind and just allow the stress of the day to melt away. Or maybe it's having a to-do list right before bed, getting all of that. I don't know about you, but there have been times where I'll get into bed and immediately my mind is going and I'm like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. So having a notepad, not your phone, a notepad and a pen nearby to write all of those thoughts down so you can let it go and let it out, and then your mind can kind of calm down. Having those things to promote better sleep is essential. So figure out what that looks for you. For me, every single night after I get my youngest two to bed, I'll go wash my face, I'll do all of that prep, and then I do my LED mask, and I'll sit and read my book for the night, or my husband and I will catch up. So it's always that I'm washing my face and then I'm putting my LED light. Then I use a magnesium lotion or a magnesium spray as part of my bedtime routine, which helps to calm the body, calm the mind, and get me ready for bed. So these are two things that I do every single night that really help me to get myself ready for bed, alongside putting the cell phone to bed. Now, there are some props that I use to promote better sleep that I'm going to show you next. Okay, if you're not currently using an eye mask, I highly recommend you add one to your routine. When there's light around us in our sleep zone or our sleep environment, this actually can be very disruptive to our sleep. So you might get to sleep easily, but you'll find yourself waking up throughout the night. And so having an eye mask on your face, if you can handle it, it might be a little bit weird at first, but I never go to bed without my eye mask. I'll make sure to share the link to this one right on Amazon down below. Number 2 is earplugs. My husband snores and it wakes me up constantly all throughout the night. And so I'm always putting earplugs every single night into my ears because I want to make sure that I get restful sleep. Now, yes, I understand that that leaves me with not being able to hear my children in the middle of the night, but my husband is so good at that. My husband hears my children, so I know that's not an option for everyone, but my kids can come right in if they need to. Our door is always open. It's never locked. So if they need something from us, they can come in. If one of my younger children is crying out, my husband always hears them, wakes me up, and we're good to go. And then finally is some sleep tape. Now, this is, a little bit, some people are like all for it and some people are not for it. Make sure to check with your doctor before you adding in sleep tape. This is actually kinesiology tape. It's not a specific sleep tape brand. I literally pop it over my mouth. When we are mouth breathers, this decreases the function in our diaphragm, which decreases the function in our pelvic floor. And so if you are a mouth breather, you may want to consider mouth tape at night so you can breathe easily through your nose. Not only is that going to increase your sleep quality, but it's also going to support pelvic floor health. Have someone that you sleep with, that having separate comforters can also be very helpful to eliminate some of that sleep disturbance, because we're not tugging and pulling. He has his own comforter and I have my own, and that has been such a game changer. Prioritize our sleep, because what comes next is going to rely on how much good quality sleep we're getting. Okay, tip number 2 is to schedule your workouts. Just like you schedule anything else, you need to make sure that you're scheduling your workouts and making this a priority. One woman I love following, she has a podcast, and her name is Chelsea Joe with Systemize Your Life. I'll make sure to share the podcast down below. She truly is amazing, and she has transformed my life so much by following her system and methodology. And so with that, I am always very dedicated to putting my workout on my schedule. Schedule is going to look very different from mine. I totally understand that your mom life is going to look different. Maybe you work outside the home, or maybe you work full-time inside the home, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you have a lot of responsibilities. We all have a lot of responsibilities, but it's a matter of how we schedule it and manage it that matters most. And I hate that saying that we all have 24 hours in a day, because that is not valid. Yes, we all have 24 hours, but we don't have the same 24 hours. What one mom's schedule looks like is going to be vastly different than another mom's. And so you have to work and find what works for your personal schedule and your family life. And I've been able to do that because, like I said, I've been following Chelsea Joe and her methodology, which has helped me significantly create a better schedule for myself. So time blocking is something that Chelsea Joe talks about. So what you're going to do is every single week, first, you're going to master your sleep schedule, right? You're going to get that sleep schedule. Once you're starting to get 7 hours of sleep, your body is well rested, you can then look, okay, where can I fit my workout in? For me, that's first thing in the morning. After the kids wake up, I get them breakfast, I get them settled, and then I go and work out, because I know that I would much rather have them interrupt me for my workout than interrupt me for my work block at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to be interrupted then, because it's a lot harder to manage that than it is a workout. Like, I can take my rest, go deal with them, give them a snack, whatever it is that they need, and then come back. So I personally like to work out when they're up, just because it's more convenient for me, but it might not be convenient for you. Next single week, I look at my schedule ahead and I decide what's going on this week and where does my husband need to be? And then I decide, okay, do we have any appointments for the week? Normally work out first thing in the morning, like I said, around 7 a.m. But say we had an appointment at 8 a.m. that day. One of the kids had a dentist appointment or whatever the case might be, then I'm gonna have to shift my schedule. And I know that in advance, because I look at my calendar ahead, a week ahead, and I map out my workouts. Now, my workout typically is at the same time every day. But like I said, if something comes up, I'm gonna have to adjust my schedule to fit my workout in. What I like to do is I like to block off about an hour of time, give or take. For me personally, my members inside the Fit Mom membership, all the workouts are 35 minutes or less. You literally just hit play. You know exactly how much time you're spending in that workout. So it's more convenient because especially if you are really busy and you really don't have time, you can block it off and say, okay, I have 35 minutes. This is where I'm gonna put my workout. I block it off. So if I had an appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would talk to my husband and I'd be like, hey, I have to take so-and-so to their appointment at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Can I work out? You get home from work. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at your calendar. You're gonna look at everything that needs to be done that week and you're gonna decide, okay, where do I have 35 minutes? Especially if you're on the Fit Mom membership, you're gonna look to see where you have 35 minutes to fit in your workout. And you don't have to work out every day. If you can commit to maybe just 3 workouts, that's totally fine. Find 3 days that are gonna be the most ideal for you to fit your workouts in. So for example, I don't work out on Sundays, but we don't have a lot going on Sundays. Sundays is a great day after church, after we get home, have lunch and all the things. That mid-afternoon time is easy. Like we're not doing much. So it's a great opportunity for me to sneak in a workout without major interruptions. So Sundays might be a great day to add in a workout for those 3 that you might be choosing. One thing you want to do is you want to state it out loud on your calendar or even just as a reminder to yourself. You're gonna state the day, you're gonna state the time, and you're gonna state the location and the what. So 4 things: day, time, location, what. We put it together. So on Tuesday at 7 a.m., I'm gonna go downstairs in my studio and I'm gonna do a 35-minute glute focused workout. And you're more likely to stick to it when you state it out and when you write it on your calendar and you tell your family, hey, mommy's working out at this time. It doesn't mean I'm completely unavailable. It just means that mom's dedicating this time to work out. If you need something, this is where I'm gonna be. And just stating that so that you can have it on your calendar, and you're gonna be more consistent just by stating it and putting it on your calendar. Just getting into the habit of putting it on your calendar alone will encourage you to actually fit it in. I want you to look at this every single day. Look at your calendar for the day and decide, okay, where am I fitting my workout in? All right, so that's tip number 2. Schedule your workout into your weekly rotation or your weekly plan, because then you're less likely to miss it. Whereas if it's just on the fly, oh, I don't know, I'll work out sometime tomorrow. When you're just guessing when you're gonna work out, most likely not going to follow through. It doesn't mean that you're not a person that follows through on things. It just means it's most likely not gonna happen. Even for me, like if I didn't have a plan, I wouldn't work out. Even as someone who's been working out for 10 plus years, it's not, I wouldn't do it unless I knew exactly when I was gonna do it. Okay, tip number 3 is following an actual workout plan. If you don't have a plan and you're just popping onto YouTube and, oh, I might do this workout today, that's not gonna be super successful. I mean, it might work for some people, but for most busy moms, having a solid plan and routine is going to be the most bang for your buck. Like I said in the last tip, if you can decide how many times you can work out, finding a workout routine that supports that. For example, the Fit Mom membership, most days it's about anywhere from 4 to 5 days per week that you're working out. So you get at least 2 dedicated rest days in there. But I always tell my members, if you can only work out for 3 days, do this instead. You have that option to work 3 days or 5 days based on what your goals and your needs are. 3 days is perfectly fine to see a transformation in your body. So don't feel like you need to go all in or nothing. I would rather you set a goal for yourself, a minimum goal of whatever days, and then if you get an extra day in, that's fantastic. Personally, 3 days a week is my goal, ideally 5, but I know that some days just don't happen the way that they're supposed to. Sometimes some kids get sick and you're up in the middle of the night, so that 7 a.m. workout isn't gonna happen, or that 5 a.m. workout isn't gonna happen, and that's okay. That's why we set a goal that we know that we most definitely can achieve, and then we have that higher goal, our ideal goal of what we would like to achieve. So you've got your minimum goal, and then you've got your higher goal. Following a workout plan, such as what we have inside the Fit Mom membership, helps you to decide, okay, this is the workout I'm doing this day, this is the workout I'm doing that day. Having an actual plan to follow through makes it super easy, because then all you literally have to do is just go to your workout space and start working out. There's no guessing what equipment you have because you already know. There's no determining what exercises to do because you already know. It's all laid out for you. And so that's why following an actual plan makes life so much easier easier as a busy mom because you don't have to plan out your workouts. Plan them ahead of time so you know, oh, okay, this day, these are the exercises I'm doing, or this day, this is the workout that I'm doing, so that you know and you're not second guessing it and you're not trying to rush through trying to find a workout that you want to do for the day. Tip number 4, set up your space the night before. So if you are doing, for example, the Fit Mom membership, we rotate through new workouts every 4 weeks. Recommend is that the first week of the month, is that you look at the workout. You look to see what equipment is required for that workout. And usually it's just dumbbells or a bench or a loop band. So it's not a ton of equipment. You want to see what equipment you need so that you can set it out and get it ready for the morning. That might mean you create a space. If you can create a space for you to work out, you are more likely to work out more consistently than if you're just working out in the living room, then you're working out in the playroom, then you're working out here. Like, have a dedicated space where you can work out. Now, that does not mean a dedicated space like this. I know that's not possible for everyone, but maybe that might mean the living room because you want to connect your computer to the TV so that you can follow along the workouts. Then you just want to have a space in your living room that you can keep your fitness equipment so it's already there in that space and you don't have to worry about rushing to get to it to save time. Especially if you literally only have 35 minutes, you want to be able to pop into your living room, grab your stuff, turn the TV on and start your workout. Whatever you can do, find a space in your home that you can dedicate to your workout space. Again, that doesn't mean that that's entirely dedicated to working out. That just means it's a space that you're going to do your workout. So that might mean the night before, after the kids are bed, you move the coffee table. We move our coffee table all the time. It rolls right away. You move it out of the way so that it's ready. You get your equipment out and you set it out. Maybe that means setting up your workout gear for the night before. So your workout attire, shoes, your socks, your underwear, your bra, your sport, whatever it is that you might do, set that out aside. Another thing that I encourage you to do is have your pre-workout snack. I encourage you that if you drink caffeine, make sure you have some kind of food source with that caffeine. So I love to do protein coffee because it gives me a boost of protein and it gives me some nutrients so that I'm not going into my workout on an empty stomach. But also too, caffeine increases cortisol and so does waking up. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, your cortisol levels naturally rise. But when you add in that caffeine, they're going to rise even more and that's going to impact your results. So by matching it with some food such as a protein powder in your coffee, then that can help settle that cortisol. So I always recommend having that. So what I do is I brew a pot of coffee for the entire week. I put it in a glass mason jar. I put it in the fridge once it's cooled off. And then the night before, I literally pour my cup out. I put my protein powder, I put my creatine and any supplements that I want to put inside the coffee. I shake it up and then I have that as my pre-workout, but also as my coffee for the morning. But I do it the night before because my morning time is limited. So whatever you need to do or whatever you can do the night before is going to really help you set up for success. Again, that's going back to that bedtime routine, right? That we talked about in tip number 1. We want to create a schedule for ourselves or create a routine that's going to support our next day. So that's why that's number 1. That's our tip number 1, that we master our sleep schedule. We master our bedtime routine because it's going to support our workout schedule the next day. So whatever you need to do as part of your bedtime routine to set yourself up for success the next day, please do so. That's going to look different for everyone. So don't feel like you have to follow my exact routine. Like I said, the night before, I do set out my workout outfit. I already know, I look at the calendar, I know, okay, what workout am I doing tomorrow and what space do I need to be in, what kind of equipment I need. And then I prepare my protein coffee the night before so that I can literally just grab it and then go about my day. Finding stuff that you can do ahead of time to support your success the next day is going to be key to your success. Okay, number 5 is giving yourself grace when your plan doesn't go. I totally get that. There have been weeks where I've only worked out 2 times and I gave myself grace. I was like, you know what? It's okay. This week we had this going on. This week we had that going on. I was still active in the sense of moving and getting in my steps, but I didn't do my strength training session. It takes about 2 weeks of solid no working out to see a decrease in muscle tone or a decrease in muscle strength. So give yourself some grace. I get this question asked all the time. I missed this workout this week. Should I just double up the next day? And my answer is no, don't double up. Please don't do that, because the intent of workouts is to challenge yourself, to go hard, to lift heavier. And if you're doubling up on workouts, you're not going to be able to do that. Your body needs rest. And so sometimes, say you had a workout on Monday, and then you were supposed to work out on Tuesday, and then Wednesday was your rest day. You missed Tuesday. I would say, don't worry about it. Tuesday was an unintentional rest day. Work out on Wednesday, because Wednesday was your rest day. Now, say if it's Friday. You were supposed to work out and Friday was your last day of the week to work out because you have a whole thing planned on Saturday and you don't get to your workout. It's okay. Give yourself some grace. Just pick up where you left off. If you are doing a plan with me or you're inside a specific program with me, I always tell you just pick up where you left off. Wherever that was, the next day that you can work out, just do the workout that you were supposed to do and get yourself back on track, which you will. But don't double up on your workouts, okay? Please don't do that. I want you to take your rest seriously and I want you to take your workout seriously, and that means challenging yourself with heavier weights. Like I said, you won't be able to double up on your workouts if you're not challenging or if you are challenging yourself with weights, you won't be able to do 2 workouts efficiently. So don't ever double up on your workouts. Just give yourself some grace that you skipped that day. Know it's okay. Know that it takes 2 weeks for your muscle growth or your muscle strength to diminish, or not diminish, but for the results to start to change. 2 weeks. So I think you can figure it out. Unless you're really, really sick, which is totally understandable that you're not going to be working out. I am highly encouraging you of managing your stress and giving yourself some rest. But by all means, please give yourself grace and pick up where you left off. Well, there you have it, my 5 tips. Now I want to share with you my exact routine all together of how I stay fit and active while homeschooling and running a business and taking care of my 4 children. So like I said, sleep is a priority. So every single night, I make sure I'm in bed by 9:30. Part of my bedtime routine, times it looks like showering at night, but not always. But my most important thing that I always do every single night is I do wash my face, I do my skincare, and I typically will do my LED mask, followed by magnesium lotion or magnesium spray. And then my husband and I are trying to pray every single night together. And so we try to pray, or we have a conversation before bed, we kiss each other goodnight, and we go to bed. And so part of that routine is also preparing my coffee for the next day. So I have my cold brew that I already brewed at the beginning of the week, and I put my protein powder, I put my creatine and any other supplements to support my hormones, I put in there, and then I put it back in the fridge so that I have it ready to go for the morning. I know what workout I'm doing the next day, so I prepare my clothes. I have my clothes set aside, my shoes set aside, and my space set aside of whatever equipment I might need for the following day. And then I get to bed. And then I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. My husband and I both wake up. I go to the bathroom, do that thing, and then I grab my coffee, I go sit down, and I have my devotionals. Right after that, I have my work block. I get my son his smoothie ready to go because he loves a smoothie every single morning. He has to have a smoothie. So I prepare that before he wakes up. And then as soon as he wakes up, I give him his smoothie. I make sure he's good to go, and then I go and work out. And then I just repeat that every single day, right? Every day it becomes a habit. I'm already doing it, and it's something that I have found that works for me. And like I said, if I have something going on that day where I can't work out, I fine tune it and I fit it in somewhere throughout the day, whether that's, right after lunch, or that's when hubby gets home from work. It really depends on your schedule. Anyway, I hope that was super helpful. I would love to hear what you're going to do or what schedule you're going to create for yourselves, especially that bedtime routine, or if you have any tips and suggestions on bedtime products that you absolutely love, I'll make sure to share mine down below. If you're looking for a workout routine that you can simply just follow along with and just hit play, make sure to check out the Fit Mom membership. You will get a 7-day free trial so you can test it out for yourself. We provide you with a new monthly plan every single month. All of the workouts are 35 minutes or less, geared towards helping women to get stronger both in their bodies but in their pelvic floors, and to help them to maintain that strength throughout their entire season of motherhood. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what else you would like to see in upcoming videos.